Inadequacy, defined as not being enough or falling short of an expected standard. Few 9-letter words could better describe today's subject, because today we're doing a full investigation by probing into the anus of one of gaming's most repugnant institutions, Balamb Garden from Final Fantasy VIII. A quasi-military academy that essentially takes youngsters, waifs and strays, some as young as 5, and turns them into mercenaries. Balamb Garden is widely regarded as one of the most prestigious military schools in the world. This is surprising, because it literally stinks. And the shortcomings run deep of substandard food supplies, cultist faculty staff, health and safety blunders of calamitous proportions. And this only scratches the surface. If I were an Ofsted inspector, I'd give it an F for f*** off, and then I'd wipe my arse with the papers I wrote it on, because this place has no toilets. Balamb Garden, the ultimate institution of nightmares. Enroll with me and find out why. I'm Kyoto Whiskers, and I got theories. Balamb Garden was founded 12 years before the events of Final Fantasy VIII by this man, Sid Kramer, alongside a mysterious benefactor whom we'll get to later. Sid established the school as a military academy. He also serves as its headmaster. Sid is best described as a bloated discount Robin Williams, but unlike Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society, he inspires none of his students. He doesn't stand on desks, he cowers beneath them. He doesn't even do stand-up. He simply exists, like a damp flannel someone left on the radiator of life. He's married to Edea Kramer, a sorceress, and she is the reason he started Balamb Garden to begin with. The students don't know they're married, because Sid can't be bothered to tell them, or that the garden was actually her idea in the first place. The story goes as follows. Edea was once visited by a moody teenager and a dying sorceress from the future, who warned her about a corrupt sorceress threatening the entire world. Naturally, she decided the best solution was to build a school for children and train them for armed combat. So Sid and Edea designed and built Balamb Garden as an academy, preparing its graduates, known as seeds, for the day they would need to fight this tyrannical sorceress. But there was one major problem. Somewhere along the way, Edea went f***ing mental and left. Possession or some such nonsense. The details don't matter. What matters is that she became evil. And now, Sid is training the children to kill his own wife, claiming it's their destiny or something. Balamb Garden's daily operations are overseen by a group known simply as the Faculty. This is already suspicious. I mean, just look at them. Any organization whose staff are collectively referred to as the Faculty is either a prestigious university or a cult. Balamb Garden is not a prestigious university. The Faculty are robed, masked, and communicate almost exclusively in passive-aggressive grunts. They look less like educators, and more like the kind of fellows who would tell you your library book is overdue and then hex your entire family. Their official responsibilities include administration, discipline, student welfare, and all-round general operations. Unofficially, they appear responsible for looming, judging, standing in corridors, and being loyal to a large angry blob who lives in the basement. They do not offer guidance, they do not smile. It's unclear whether they even have faces, or teaching qualifications. They simply stand there, like ominous furniture, the kind of stuff you inherit from an irritating dead grandparent. And it's under their stewardship that Balamb Garden runs with all the efficiency of a collapsing outhouse. And this leads to the one and most obvious complaint about the school, which is basic and rudimentary operational failures, such as: Number 1. No toilet facilities. None. At all. In a school with hundreds of students, there are no toilets. Do the faculty believe defecation is a choice? And where does all the shit go? Number 2, an inadequate supply of food. Students queue for nourishment several times a day, only to be turned away. They're furious, starving, and ready to rebel. The faculty do nothing. Number 3, a training center full of live dinosaurs. Living, breathing, bloodthirsty T-Rexors stomping all over the place and attacking the children. The faculty's official stance seems to be, okay. And number 4, zero pastoral care. If a student is traumatized, injured, or eaten, the faculty respond by slightly adjusting their posture and casually moving on to the next issue. In short, the faculty's management style can be best summarized as authoritarian, outdated, and ineffective. These walking slow spells are supposed to be in charge. If they were on life support, I'd unplug them just to charge my gunblade. Balamb Garden's training center is supposed to be a controlled environment where students can practice combat skills in a safe and supervised setting. In reality, it is a monster-infested death swamp. As mentioned earlier, it contains live, fully grown T-Rexors, towering carnivorous reptiles with the strength to snap a student in half like a breadstick. They roam freely, no cages, no warnings, no supervision. It also contains these things known as grats. We're not certain exactly what they are, but they look like triffids, and that scares the shit out of me. Environmental hazards include dense foliage, poor lighting, swampy terrain, and again, absolutely no toilets. This is not a training facility. This is a safari park designed by people who hate children. The staff insist the training center is perfectly safe. This is gaslighting. There are no risk assessments. There is no emergency protocol. Not even a staff member with a clipboard saying, "You must be this tall to enter Jurassic Park." And of course, the students are encouraged, sometimes even required, to enter the training center. This includes moody teenagers, emotionally fragile adolescents, and occasionally children as young as 5. Imagine being 5 years old. You've just learned to tie your shoes, and now you're being asked to fight a dinosaur. If a student is injured or emotionally shattered by the experience, the official response is to shrug, hope another student drags the body out, and wipe away the tears of a grieving relative with oversized sleeves. At night time, the training center becomes Balamb Garden's unofficial social hub, as it is the only place the students are allowed to go to in the evenings. Conveniently, it is also the one place the faculty staff cannot be bothered to patrol. Older students often go here after curfew, some to train, others go to what is known as the secret place. I won't speculate on what happens here, as I don't want to fuel rumours, but it's certainly a failure on these 2 fronts. 1, the staff, for not monitoring the centre properly, and number 2, a failure of the students, entering a dinosaur-infested swamp to lollygag instead of sleeping, studying, or legitimately training. And thus the training centre becomes a nocturnal free-for-all, where students wander around in the dark, surrounded by wildlife and dinosaur crap. It's a safeguarding disaster, and not character building. The only thing being built here is a laundry list of traumatic memories. Memories with a curriculum. The garden's cafeteria is responsible for feeding hundreds of children every single day. In theory, this should be simple. In practice, it is not. The cafeteria suffers from a chronic shortage of food, particularly the one food the students want most: the hot dogs. Processed meat, dripping in saturated fat. All the students want the hot dogs, and at all times the school appears physically incapable of producing enough of them. This is astonishing, because hot dogs are not rare, they are not exotic, they are not difficult to make, they are tubes of meat. They might be the simplest food ever invented, except for cereal, but that doesn't seem to appear on the menu either. I like Special K. My gran loved Special K too, and said she couldn't put the stuff down. She died shortly after. Students queue for hours only to be turned away by cafeteria staff who deliver the sad news with the solemnity of a Burns unit doctor informing a family that their loved one didn't make it. One student, this young man, has been observed returning multiple times a day, only to be denied hot dogs every single time. His emotional state is deteriorating. He is now rumored to be considering unaliving, not because of academic pressure or combat training, but because he has no sausage. The faculty do nothing. They simply watch, like vultures waiting for him to die of sodium deficiency. And it shows. Hundreds of students, and not one of them fat. That seems statistically impossible. And perhaps it's this malnutrition that is making the students so stupid. Virginia Woolf once wrote, "One cannot think well, love well, sleep well, if one has not dined well. It makes you think. Or it might do, if you'd have eaten." Next time, in part 2 of our investigation, we look at the heavy hitters of Balamb Garden, such as Headmaster Sid and the not-so-anonymous benefactor. Join us again. I'm Kyoto Whiskers. Goodbye.